I don't care. Just keep talking. Why are you playing this game? These are pre-approved names, but it says huh?
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to tonight's varsity basketball matchup. The second night of a back-to-back. Maconaquah was dealt with yesterday. Today, Tipton is tasked with Bethesda. Starting for the Patriots, number 4, Stephen Tierney. Number 11, Cooper Jackson. Number 3, Sam Malagan. Number 0, Isaac Malagan. And it looks like also out there will be number 1, BJ Johnson. Your typical starting 5 for the Blue Devils. It appears to be with Jackson Money back in the starting lineup. Did not play yesterday, will be available today for the Blue Devils, so your typical starting lineup. Number 3, junior guard Grady Carpenter. Number 5, a senior guard Sam Quigley. Number 11, Nolan Swan, a senior guard averaging 21.5 points per game. Number 12, the newcomer from Noblesville, Ryan Tracy. And number 23, Jackson Money back in the lineup, as said earlier. It'll sure to be a good one. Tipton comes in ranked number 32 in Indiana. They were ranked 33 just yesterday. And Bethesda Christian ranked 106. They are number 5 in the class of 1A. Tipton stayed the same after that win yesterday with the number 4 rank in 2A. Tipton comes in at 11-0 record, undefeated, a perfect season so far. Bethesda Christian comes in at 4-7. A harder strength of schedule for the Patriots, though, than Tipton, so be on the lookout for that. Tipton leads the series, the season series for the last 35 years. Tipton leads 2-1. But just last year, about a year ago today, actually, on January 7th, Bethesda Christian got the better of Tipton 53-38. That's the starting lineup for Tipton. Just about to get underway here in the Inferno. John Harrell predicts Tipton 62-49 for Bethesda Christian. A 13-point expected victory for the Blue Devils, and they do win the tip-off. We're kicked off with the action at 7:27 p.m., a few minutes early, actually. The JV game was a quick one, as Tipton dealt with Bethesda Christian's JV team quite easily, getting the 60-16 victory. Tipton swinging around. Carpenter the one to shoot first. Not able to connect, and the rebound pulled down by the Patriots. A handoff, and Nolan Swan picks up the early foul in just 28 seconds. Isaac Malagan to bring it up for Bethesda. On the right hand, a handoff to Sam Malagan, but it's stolen by Nolan Swan, who got fouled on the other end. We'll see if they are going to shoot for 2. It looks like they might. That is the foul on Sam Malagan. First points for Tipton at the hands of Nolan Swan. Both free throws good for the senior. Extended pressure for Tipton. Trying to give Bethesda a different look. Didn't have a chance to set it up last possession down. The first minute goes by. Tipton leads 2-0. Bethesda on their second possession. Sam Malagan trying to drive inside. A spin move back to his right hand. Fadeaway jumper off the rim and out. Carpenter was on the floor. Wasn't able to fight for that rebound. And it's put in instead by Bethesda. That was Cooper Jackson scoring first for the visiting Patriots. Tracy has Carpenter, drives to his left hand, and will be fouled on the floor by BJ Johnson. Box set for Tipton. They're going to look for Carpenter. An elevator screen. Here comes Swan, but it's thrown away by Carpenter. That was well defended by Bethesda. It appears they saw that one coming far and away before the play was even set up. As the Patriots swing it around, they get it into the middle. Swung over to the left side. Johnson with an extra pass to Sam Malagan, pulls up at the elbow for two. Bethesda takes the lead. Quickly on the right side. Defended by Sam Malagan. The Blue Devils swinging it on their perimeter. A pull-up jumper for Jackson Money as he gets his first two to go. Again, did not play yesterday in the victory against Maconaquah, attending his brother's wedding. But he is available for tonight's game, and he might be needed, as he has half of Tipton's points at the moment. Another turnover by the Patriots. This one falls into the hands of Swan, who gets it to Carpenter. Quigley on the opposite block, needs to kick it out. Tracy in the corner, stolen by Tierney. Almost a numbers advantage there for the Patriots as they tried to get it in transition, but Tipton did a good job to recover. Now Sam Malagan to set up the offense. That one poked out of bounds. It'll be off of Money last. Grandparents of Tracy and Carpenter checking in the chat. Five minutes left in the first quarter. An even game so far. Defensive-minded as of the first few minutes. Malagan with Jackson to his right. Gets the screen, and Jackson rolls to the basket, but it was well defended by Carpenter. Similar builds, those two down low. It'll be interesting to see if they try to go to Jackson more as Carpenter pulls down the defensive rebound. Wants to push it in transition. Swan in a bit of trouble here, spins his way out of it. Tracy on that far side. They're going to look for Swan on the wing. That's enough space for him to shoot and connect. Nolan Swan shooting 50% on the year. I believe it was 8 for 11 yesterday from beyond the arc, leading the Blue Devils with 34 points in that one. Carpenter grabbing himself a triple-double, and Spidell with 16 points in his first start. So a great all-around showing by the Blue Devils as they come away with a stop there. A rebound by Carpenter and push. Jackson Money from beyond the arc. That one short, and the rebound pulled down by Johnson on the other end. Tierney a handoff to Isaac Malagan, who wants the baseline drive, and Sam Quigley drew enough contact for the charge. Or perhaps a push-off. Same principles apply. Three fouls on Bethesda for the quarter, one for Tipton. It's a 3-point advantage for the home Blue Devils. Swan going to look for the back screen here. Gets it. Enough space to shoot. Fell to the ground, maybe looking to draw the foul, but it wouldn't come. And the Blue Devils come up empty on that possession. That one tied up. A travel called. It was an interesting call. It could have gone a few different ways, actually. You could call a travel a jump ball or nothing at all. This one favors the Blue Devils. Money to bring it up. Tracy had a lot of those responsibilities yesterday with the absence of Jackson Money. Had more ball handling responsibilities and did quite well with the more responsible assignments. But Carpenter steps out of bounds as he tried to get his way into the basket. Bethesda's played very solid defense here in the first quarter so far. As a low-scoring affair for both of these teams, you typically see both of these teams in the double digits by the end of the first quarter. We've only got 2.5 minutes left to go. As Swan does not want to pick up that second foul, and instead that'll favor Bethesda as they grab 2 more points off the offensive rebound. That's 4 of their points off of offensive rebounds. Tipton going to need to be careful of that, as Bethesda's not really been able to create shots that have been good looks. It's just been the dirty work for them. Sam Malagan pulls up and recaptures the lead for the Patriots. In the 2 games I could find, Sam Malagan is by far their leading scorer with 15 points per game in their last 2 contests. As B.J. Johnson picks up his second foul, averaging 8 points per game in his last 2. The duo of Spidell and Hare come off the bench to relieve Tracy and Quigley. Swan, the only Blue Devil with a foul, as he picked that up in the first 30 seconds, and the team has not fouled since. Swan with not a lot of room to operate here, but does get it into Jackson Money, who runs the point for the Blue Devils on this possession. Carpenter trying to get down low, a feed inside to Hare. That one off the back iron and rolls in for 2. Hare had a tough game yesterday, missing a couple of bunnies just like that, but he starts off better than he played yesterday with 2 points on his first attempt there. An immediate impact for Gavin Hare. .90 seconds left in the first. 4 low, but it's going right to Swan on the other end. Can he beat Isaac Malagan? He sure can with the left hand. A great heads-up play defensively from Nolan Swan. He kind of read that one all the way and knew it was safer for the Patriots to get it in on that far side, as most people don't defend there, but Nolan Swan decides to switch it up and gets the steal and rewarded with 2 points for it. Malagan fakes the 3, uses his teammates instead. That's Tierney. Back to Malagan up top, defended by Hare. He wants an isolation. Carpenter stays over on that side to help. Cross-court pass to Cameron Hines. That's Tierney for 3 rather, is no good. And the rebound pulled down by the Blue Devils. Carpenter, a hop, step, skip, pass to Jackson Money off the rim and in. Jackson Money with the shooter's bounce, as Tipton has their largest lead of 6. And a 30-second timeout called by Coach John Grubbaums. He's 60-26 in his 4th year at Bethesda Christian. A solid coach, getting the better of Tipton just last year. Almost a year ago today on the 7th. Cliff Hawkins in his 5th year at Tipton, his 43rd year overall, and boasts a good record. At Tipton, he's 75-33. And a new look here for Bethesda Christian as number 5, Dion Payne, will play the last 27 seconds of the first quarter. He has Swan defending him. An interesting look here. Look at the offensive setup for Bethesda Christian. This is not something you're going to see too often. One in the corner to his left and one way outside to his right. They do switch positions here and have 3 across the top, 1 in the corner. Need to be careful about the pass here. As well defended by Spidell, but he will pick up the foul at the very end. A great play there by Bethesda Christian to get Cooper Jackson down low. A 6-8 problem for the Blue Devils. Spidell picks up his first, the second team foul, on Tipton, and that was just before time ran out as well. For Spidell, it would have been more advantageous to not foul there, but that's easier said than done when you're guarding the 6'8 senior Cooper Jackson, as he could finish off the quarter with a free throw. Off the back iron, and that should just about close it out. Carpenter pulls down a rebound and ends the quarter with a 4-point lead for Tipton. It's been a back-and-forth contest here. Neither team able to create too much separation, but it's Tipton leading 14-10 at the end of the first. Only 3 Blue Devils scoring so far. Swan with 7 rather. Money with 5, and Gavin Hare adding 2. The same goes for the Patriots. Sam Malagan with 4, Cooper Jackson with 4, and Stephen Tierney adding a couple. The lineup of Hare, Quigley, Carpenter, Tracy, and Swan starting out the second quarter for the Blue Devils. And a man-to-man look as Tracy battling Jackson down low. That'll be a tough task for Ryan Tracy throughout tonight's contest, as Sam Malagan provides an entirely different problem, and that's a problem that Gavin Hare has to deal with right now. He deals well with it enough, but Payne gets to the glass, not able to convert though. Swan tried to push the pace, but it was well defended by Bethesda. And now it's up to Quigley to set up the offense for the Blue Devils. He has Swan to his right, uses him. Defended by Tierney, wants to get it down low. That one dribbled off the foot of Tierney. And out of bounds off of Swan. It'll go back the way of Bethesda. So some great pressure by Stephen Tierney, the 6'1 junior. And Jackson Money brought back into the game. Tierney defended by Quigley as he brings it up in the box set for Bethesda. Sam Malagan falls down, keeps his dribble though, is able to stand back up. Because of that, Dion Payne on the other side wants Cooper Jackson down low. He's defended by Ryan Tracy, and he's able to get the better of him on that go around. Cooper Jackson, a great rebounder and a great post presence that is sure to give Tipton some problems. Him and the duo of Sam Malagan is sure to be the duo to look out for, as Jackson Money pulls down a monster rebound and gets fouled as he goes back up for 2. The athleticism for Money on display. Going up and grabbing that one. Didn't want to leave that one to chance. First team foul for Bethesda of the quarter goes to Cameron Hines. As Jackson Money visits the line but comes up short on the first. Free throw is going to be crucial for Tipton, as they shoot about 70% from the line. The second one good for Money, and he extends the Tipton lead to 3. 15-12, favoring the Blue Devils. Malagan pulls up for a 3, is no good. Offensive rebound to Tierney. He dribbles out, finds Sam Malagan back up top. And they may look for Cooper Jackson at the end of this possession, but Tierney drives inside, gets inside all the way for 2, and Coach Hawkins calling the timeout for Tipton. I would say it's appropriate. They've started out this second quarter quite poorly, actually. Not nearly as good as they would have liked. As the 4-point advantage at the end of the first quarter cut down to just one at the moment with 6:10 left to go in the second quarter. Jackson and Tierney each adding two in this quarter, combining for 4. Jackson Money with just 1 point for Tipton in the first minute 50 of the second quarter. The starting lineup in for the Blue Devils. Trying to create some separation here. Bethesda's done a great job of sticking right with them. Money will bring it up. Needs to be careful of this trap by Bethesda as they showed it a little bit too early. Gave Money time to think about that one. And it looks like the zone is broken down. Carpenter is going to try a 3. Misses, but the rebound fought for by Tracy. That one tipped out of bounds off of Tipton's number 12. The shooting for Tipton not quite as clean as they shot in yesterday's game. Tipton very efficient from beyond the arc today. In the first half, not so much. Sam Milligan tries to get all the way. Contested by Carpenter, but a tough finish with the left hand. Fading away from the basket even. And Tipton relinquishes the lead. They're going to need some leadership out of their 2 guards, Swan and Carpenter. Maybe Money can contribute with a pull-up jumper. That one off the rim, no good. The rebound pulled down by Tierney, given up to Milligan to push the pace. Sam Milligan pulls up for a 3, air ball, and goes out of bounds. A good sight for Tipton, as Sam Milligan has shot poorly in his last 2 games from beyond the arc, just 20%, 2 of 10. A small sample size, of course. We know he can hit them. But as of late, a shooting slump for the leading scorer for Bethesda. Tracy needs some help here. The face guard on Swan is quite good. Tracy called for the 5 seconds. And Bethesda is fired up. Tipton's going to need to regroup here. A very poor start from them, as certainly the favorites coming into the game. Slight favorites, but favorites nonetheless. But a poor start from them and a good start for Bethesda. Not a great start, but a good one. And that's enough for them to have the lead at the moment. Isaac Milligan pulls in the lane for 2 and extends the Tipton lead. The timeout by Coach Hawkins really didn't do too much for Tipton, it seems. It was a necessary one, but it didn't accomplish quite what he was looking for. Carpenter going to go inside and be fouled. That is on number 11, Cooper Jackson. The first foul for him. As Carpenter buries the first free throw. The second one no good for Carpenter. The rebound tipped out to Milligan. That's another one of Tipton's weaknesses here in the first half. The rebounding not quite up to par to keep up with the Patriots, who have a slight size advantage. Not a great one, but significant enough to justify the rebounding total. Sam Milligan wants the left hand, spins inside to his right, needs some help. Tierney from beyond the arc, off the back iron, and a long rebound. Eventually collected by Swan. He has Quigley to his left, and Quigley ties up the game. It's a great way for Tipton to look to get back in this game as their transition. But it starts with a defensive end that's done a decent job so far in the second quarter. Not as good as the first, but maybe it'll pick up here as we get underway into the final few minutes of the second quarter. Tracy off the iron and no good. As they look to retake the lead, Sam Malagan will slow it down for the Patriots. And a timeout called by Coach John Grubbaums. .304 left to go in the first half. An even affair as Tipton's only scored 4 points in the quarter. And Bethesda now with 11 in the quarter with the 3 points from number 3. And so it looks like Tipton's just going to be looking to get into halftime here. They have not played up to their standards in the first. Swan with the 1 foul. Needs to avoid getting a second, as he has done so for the remainder of the first half. He guards Isaac Malagan now. Sam Malagan at the top. Perhaps looking for Johnson down low. He's defended by Spidell. A size advantage for Johnson, but Spidell able to fight with him, with the best of them. Sam Malagan gets in the paint. A spin around, wants the jumper, but well defended by Carpenter. A backdoor for Isaac Malagan, though. He's fouled. Who will it be on? It'll be on Swan, who picks up his second. And so Isaac Malagan at the line, shooting 2. And the first one perfect. The second free throw for the senior, no good that time. 4-point lead for the visiting Patriots. As a look on the right side of your screen, BJ Johnson looks like he's ready to check back in if needed, but a turnover by Quigley, taken away by Isaac Malagan. Wants to slow it down for Sam Malagan. A tough jumper there, no good, but the rebound pulled down by the Patriots. They might come away with 3 instead. They sure do. And the Patriots in full control of this game. Their intensity and their passion clearly outmatching Tipton in the first half. As Swan wants to get away with 2, and he might get away with 3. Carpenter trying to fire up the bench. That's the second one on Cooper Jackson. And he'll be a key piece if Tipton can get him into foul trouble. That's one of the 2 players that you're looking for. As it's good to see BJ Johnson back into the lineup, checking in for Cooper Jackson, who just picked up the second foul. Johnson taking an elbow to the eye, but he looks to be ready to go for the final minute. One free throw for Swan as the lead back down to 4. It's not been pretty for Tipton, but they are only trailing by 4. And so if they could escape into halftime with only a 4-pointer, maybe even less disadvantage, that'll be a positive for Tipton, but overall the first half certainly going to be a negative. Spidell tasked with guarding Sam Milligan. He's up to 8 in the second quarter and 12 points overall, leading the way for the Patriots. Holding here for the last shot now with 20 seconds to go. The Milligan duo working together up top, just trying to kill as much time as they can until they're ready to go, and it looks like they are. Sam Milligan gets all the way. The reverse finish is good. 6-point lead for the Patriots. Here comes Swan with Carpenter to his right. A pull-up three off the back iron, no good. And Tipton, with a poor first half start, will trail by 6 heading into halftime. getting ready to kick off the second half, and we're going to need to see a new look Tipton as they have a 6-point disadvantage that they need to overcome in 16 minutes. Not a good first half for the Blue Devils, but there's a second half for a reason. Tipton with plenty of time here to make up 6 points. As a kick out to Carpenter, not able to cut the lead in half. Poor shooting, looks like it still may continue for the Blue Devils. As Sam Malagan patiently sets up the offense. A very efficient Bethesda second quarter. Scoring in many of their possessions, turning it over very few. Isaac Malagan gets all the way to the rim. Tipton having a hard time stopping these guys one-on-one. They may need to switch up their defensive game plan as Jackson Money not enough space to shoot. But there he goes and connects with a three. Tipton needing to fire up here. They extend the pressure. Looks like what they typically do at the beginning of a game. We'll do it at the beginning of the second half. As B.J. Johnson throws it off the hand of Jackson Money out of bounds. It'll stay with the Patriots. So it'll have to start on the defensive end for Tipton. Going to have to really lock down on their one-on-one matchups, which they just really haven't gotten able to work for them. Sam Malagan spins inside a kick out to Tierney. Didn't like the shot there. B.J. Johnson down low. Jackson with the left hand gets his offensive rebound and puts it back up. The rebounding continuing to be very effective for the Patriots. Tipton will need to sharpen that area of their game as well. Tracy in the corner. Carpenter trying to spin inside. And the shot is good for two. Might have gotten away with an offensive foul there, but it wasn't called, and 2 points will fall in the lap of Carpenter, who had just 1 point in the first half. 2 for Gavin Hare, 2 for Sam Quigley, 10 for Swan, and 6 for Money. On the other end for the Patriots, 14 for Sam Malagan, 6 for Cooper Jackson, 4 for Tierney, and 3 for Isaac Malagan. As they put up 2 more points on the other end. That one, an errant pass by Swan. Consider a timeout here if you're Coach Hawkins. A missed layup, but it's easy enough to put back up for 2. Tipton, just very lackadaisical performance in their second night of a back-to-back. May have some effect on it, but it really shouldn't have this much of an impact to see them playing this sloppily. Jackson Money tries to get inside, blocked by Cooper Jackson. A fast break for the Patriots. Malagan down low. Jackson up for 2 and in. A timeout certainly going to be called by Coach Hawkins. A full timeout at that. And a much needed one as the Patriots have all the momentum here in the Inferno. So a very, very poor start to the second half. Just under 5 minutes left to go in the third quarter. And Tipton will need to reshape the structure of this game, but all credit to the Patriots. They've found a formula that's worked for them, and they've continued to use it to its maximum potential. Jackson Money's shot is no good off the rim. Isaac Malagan back to the other. Tierney kicks it out. The Patriots forced out of the perimeter. And a kickball off of Jackson Money out of bounds will stay with the Patriots. Sam Malagan to bring it up in a 2-3 zone played for Tipton. Or perhaps a 1-3-1. They reshaped it a little bit. Cooper Jackson finds Tierney out on the left wing. Malagan swings it. Johnson for three. And he connects with that one as well. Good shooting for Bethesda Christian. Can Swan get going with a two? No, the rebound to Johnson. Tierney on his left, uses him. Tierney all the way, gets into the body of Carpenter. Offensive rebound pulled down by Cooper Jackson. 16-point lead for Bethesda just like that. Tipton has not had a lineup that's worked out for them. And an uncharacteristically poor start, but Carpenter swings that the other way for the time being. It'll take a monumental effort for Tipton to try and overcome this 14-point advantage that Bethesda's earned for themselves. That one through the hands of Malagan and over and back called Jackson Money. A smart play. He chased down just in case the loose ball came out to him, but there's no need to go and touch that when you have the free violation. And so an unforced error by Bethesda gives Tipton an opportunity to keep chipping away at that lead. Tracy with the ball. And the length that Bethesda Christian has on the perimeter is a key reason why Tipton's having such a hard time scoring. Carpenter's looked aggressive. Hasn't really been able to get too much going for him, but there's 4 points in a row for him. And a timeout called by Bethesda before anything further can happen. A 4-point run for Tipton. And they'll use a full timeout to try and kill the Tipton momentum that they were building for themselves. Exiting the momentum disrupting timeout. Possession to Bethesda Christian, who have themselves a 12-point lead in a very defensive-minded battle, which doesn't really suit Tipton. They're an offensive powerhouse when they play the game that they want, but it has been the complete opposite from what they've been expecting in this game. A pull-up two for Carpenter comes away short. Sam Malagan with a few seconds left across half court. He will, but an unforced error out of Tierney as Tipton gains a free possession because of that. Thrown right into the hands of Spidell. As the offense just looks a little discombobulated for the Blue Devils, but Nolan Swan can try to change that. An offensive rebound for Tracy. One of Tipton's first. As Carpenter tries to get all the way, not able to finish. The rebound pulled down by Johnson. Malagan into the corner. Tierney decides to drive on this one, but he's pushed out of bounds by Ryan Tracy. As the Patriots get it inside and fouled by Money. And that's the second team foul against the Blue Devils. A clean sheet for Bethesda as they have played an excellent quarter without fouling. Just one of the many reasons they've got themselves a 15-point lead and a lot of work done in the third. Jackson Money defending Isaac Malagan as he's got nowhere else to go. Tried to force the 5-second violation, didn't quite get there. Now into the corner, Sam Malagan gets to the baseline, has the other Malagan down low. The rebound fought for, ends up in the hands of Bethesda, and a jump ball forced by Nolan Swan. We'll see what the possession arrow points to. This one will favor the visiting Patriots. Three at the elbow and one in the opposite corner for Bethesda as they use the safety, but it's not really going to go anywhere. Jackson Money falls to the ground, pushed by number 5, Dion Payne. And a bit unfortunate even that in the possession where the shot doesn't count, Bethesda finally misses. But that one won't matter. That one won't even go to the shooting totals as a pass caught by Carpenter, and he will be fouled. I believe they'll call this one on the floor. Didn't quite get into a shooting motion, and so will inbound with 4 across the top. They're going to look for Tracy, who shoots a 3, comes up short. The story of the game, Tipton, poor shooting, especially from beyond the arc, really haven't got anything to go. Payne down low, a dish down to Malagan. That's Isaac Malagan adding 2 more. Swan rather pulls up for a 3 and finally gets something to go from beyond the arc for the Blue Devils. Extended pressure on the 2-3. The top 2 players playing high. Here comes Carpenter to up the aggression, but that leaves Isaac Malagan wide open off the rim, and a foul drawn by Nolan Swan. Cooper Jackson committing the foul. And that's really unfortunate for the Patriots. That's Jackson's 3rd. He's been a great rebounding problem for Tipton and a great post presence as well for the Patriots. But only 3 fouls. You know, if that's his 4th, it's almost game-changing, but the 3rd, not so much. It's just unfortunate for the Patriots that that comes so late in the 3rd quarter. You know, you foul in the final minute, and it's all for naught as Swan gets the friendly shooter's bounce. And just like that, Tipton cuts it to 11. And a stop here would be big. They leave 22, Cameron Hines wide open. He has Tierney down low. Tries to go up for the shot, fouled by Spidell. And certain to be a shooting foul. The 3rd team foul for Tipton. They played several minutes without fouling while Bethesda picked up 3 of their own. And now we're tied back up in the foul department with 2 on Spidell. Sending Tierney to the line, shooting a pair. Bethesda's been quite clinical at the line when they've gotten their opportunities there. Tierney shooting just 64% in their last 2 games from the charity stripe. But he made his first there. And the second one off the rim to the right. Tracy pulls down the rebound. 5 seconds left to go for Carpenter. He wants Jackson Money down low, but that kills all the momentum that they had going in. 3 seconds is the time. I'll go ahead and change that there. They're going to need an immediate shot here for the Blue Devils as Tracy inbounds from that far sideline. Right next to the Blue Crew, Carpenter. A pull-up jumper for him. Connects at the buzzer. We're within 10. Tipton with a little bit of momentum going into the fourth and final quarter. We'll see you in just a minute. Carpenter really got going in that third quarter, turning it around for the Blue Devils. He had 8 in the quarter. Second leading scorer for Tipton right now, tied with Money with 9. Swan leads the way with 16, and then 2 added by Hare and Quigley, both in the first half. For the Patriots, really just the 5 players scoring right now. Number 3, Sam Milligan, has 16. Jackson with 12 down low. 8 for Tierney. 7 for number 0, Isaac Milligan. And 5 for B.J. Johnson. So 5 scores for both Tipton and Bethesda Christian. What's interesting to me is that Ryan Tracy has yet to score. He just hasn't really found an offensive groove, at least in the scoring department. He's looked pretty good in all the other aspects. He's had a tough task with trying to deal with Cooper Jackson down low, but he's done an okay job in that department, but just hasn't really been able to contribute in the scoring columns. A double-digit deficit for Tipton to overcome here in the final 8 minutes as they were starting to get a little bit of momentum. And Ryan Tracy may continue that with a 3. That connects. We're down to 7 points. A bit of a Colts update. Colts leading the Texans 3-0 in a playoff-like game. Not quite there yet. A win here would bring them right where they want to be. Tipton within 7. And a complete turnaround at the end of that second half. That stepped out of bounds was Tierney. Tipton getting some fortune to go their way finally. But you can't luck into winning a game, certainly not trailing by 7. You've got to earn this one, and Tipton, it'll be an earned victory if they are able to complete the comeback in what would otherwise be their sloppiest game of the year. As Swan gets fouled, Tipton continues to build. That's on number 4, Stephen Tierney. Bethesda needing to recoup. They may take a timeout, probably not. But it's certainly an option if they would like to. Swan at the line. Converts on the first. We're within 6, a 2-possession game now. In what was looking like an unlikely game where Tipton may be just blown out in their own gym, they're starting to get some momentum and get back on the right path. Extending the trap, putting some pressure on Isaac Milligan, but that'll be out of bounds off of Money. A smart play to escape the danger by Bethesda's number 0. Tipton is a bit vulnerable back there. You can't see it on your screen right now, but Landon Spidell tasked with guarding 2 Patriots on the other end, so it's up to the Tipton guards up front as Isaac Milligan rather, steps out of bounds. Tipton regrouping, and I like the look there by Bethesda. You saw in the middle of the paint there, just kind of regrouping, saying some words of encouragement, trying to get each other back on the right path and see if they can get back into the game. Ryan Tracy. It'll be swung to Carpenter, who wanted the handoff but won't get it. Swan to Carpenter for a 3 off the mark. That would have been a big shot if Carpenter was able to get that to fall. Jackson Money providing the pressure, but he's called for the foul. Maybe gotten away with a travel, but the foul called on Money instead. Tipton in one of the higher pressure scenarios they've faced this year. Not quite as high as the Delta game on the neutral site that they ended up winning in overtime. And this one has a similar feel to it, you'd have to think, as Sam Lagan just got away with a foul. Numbers advantage for the Patriots, and they moved the ball excellently, but just a blatant missed call there. Not normally one to complain about something like that on the broadcast, but I would have to point that one out as Swan hits another huge three. The extended pressure, and this has worked wonders for Tipton, and a steal for Tipton. Jackson Money on the other end, didn't get the end one, but he will be sent to the line shooting two. The fans are in this one. The fans are in the game. Not literally, that might be a bit unfair, as B.J. Johnson with another hard hit. We didn't see that one actually, but this one looks worse than the first by far. This is an ankle injury, which you never want to see. We're going to go to a quick break. We'll be right back once this injury is dealt with. And we're right back. B.J. Johnson tended to on his bench. It looked like a rough injury that you might not come back into the game from, as Jackson Money misses the first free throw. So we'll keep our eyes out for B.J. Johnson and let you know what we see from up here. But as it stands, it looks like he may not be returning. Both free throws short for Jackson Money. That breakage of play doing him no favors. And could benefit Bethesda as they have an opportunity at three. Finally missed one, but Cooper Jackson tipped it out of bounds. That's quite fortunate for Tipton. Still plenty of time, though. It feels like there's a lot less time than there actually is, but 6:09 left to go. And it feels like we're just down to the final few seconds, but there's still quite a hefty chunk of the fourth quarter to go, which favors the trailing team at all times. Carpenter wants Swan. He gets inside. Well defended by Jackson. Stands his ground. The Tipton fans wanting a foul, but I would personally say that that's a clean play. There's not really much else he could have done. Sam Milligan setting up the offense. Trying to get inside on Swan, who him and his teammates have done a better job of staying in front of their man, but that's a bad one to give up as a three there connects for Tierney. The outside shooting has been very good for Bethesda. As Swan hit the floor, wasn't looking in that direction. He's getting face guarded by Tierney. That one off to the right. And Landon Spidell picks up a crucial rebound. Needs to get it out to safety. He gets it to Carpenter, who gets to his left hand. Inside, he'll be fouled for two. And Tipton, the aggressiveness on offense has been rewarded by trips to the free throw line, specifically for Carpenter. Carpenter's aggression and his drives in the second half have been a key factor in Tipton trying to reclaim the lead. Back to a two-possession game. And that was only the second foul on Dion Payne. Carpenter connects with the second as well. Tipton extending that full court pressure. We don't normally see them have to use this type of defense, but we will now as they trail by 5. Dion Payne wants it down low, kicked out by Spidell to save the possession. While Tipton may not get the possession, they at least don't give up 2 points. So some crucial foot placement by Landon Spidell, a skill I'm sure he works on quite often. Looks like a 2-3 zone for the Blue Devils. 4 stacked on the elbow nearest the ball. And a timeout called, trying to avoid the 5 seconds. They did have somebody available to catch it, but their coach obviously cannot predict the future, so he calls the timeout instead. Just under 5 minutes to go. Tipton trails by 5. Bethesda with an excellent third quarter. Only 5 points in the fourth quarter. Tipton tallying up 8, it looks like. 10 rather, they have. Missing a pair of free throws by Carpenter, who just made 2 on the other end. The only scores in the fourth quarter for Bethesda Christian, Cooper Jackson has 2, and Tierney knocked down a 3 just a minute ago. And a big 3 at that. The scoring was coming few and far between. We'll see if Bethesda comes away with some kind of trick play here, if they're just going to run one of their standard sets. May not be a bad idea to draw up a play here, but could also be a waste of time if you're not able to get anything to go. They will have to get it to safety with Tierney and set up the half-court offense as per usual. They get it down low, in the elbow rather, and a long rebound favors Tipton. Swan collects it, gives it up to Carpenter. On that right side, extended way up top. Tracy swings it over to Money, tries to get all the way with his left hand, well defended by Isaac Malagan to keep him out. Carpenter isolation on the right side. Cross-court pass, Tracy in the corner for 3. Bang! Hits the 3 and we're within 2. Jackson Money maybe forcing the error. No, it's off of Tipton. Looked like it might have been off Bethesda. There were a few fans standing in the way, but it will be off of Bethesda. I couldn't quite see that myself, and Tipton not arguing the call, so I assume it's correct. As they have Sam Malagan, their most trusted ball handler, it looks like. They want the ball in his hands. It'll be Tierney. He can get all the way. He will, but Cooper Jackson with the rebound, fouled by Spidell. Nearly escaping that possession cleanly was Tipton. You see Ryan Tracy on the right side. You see him talking to the refs. He's not, forcing any bad blood between them. He's just letting the referee know what he sees, which I really like out of him. He's a very just solid all-around player for Tipton, the new player in the 2023-2024 season. Cooper Jackson at the line, shooting 2. And a high arcer is perfect. Here comes Sam Quigley checking in at the scores table for Spidell. This change perhaps looking for a bit more speed on the defensive end, trying to force more turnovers. We know Sam Quigley can get in those passing lanes and pick the pocket of these Patriots, but we'll see if he can have any effect here in the final 4 minutes. Another high arcer for Jackson. Perfect as well. The bonus of a shot arcing that high, as most rim bounces will favor a second chance opportunity. As Swan wide open in that far corner. This needs to go in, and it does off the shooter's bounce. Swan comes alive in the fourth. Quigley could get that, but instead Payne intercepts it. Beats him to the punch. They cross half court. Need to be careful. Bethesda. Cooper Jackson down low. Kicks it out to safety. Isaac Malagan scrambling. And the more experienced Sam Malagan to slow things down. You can see how much they trust him in these type of situations. There's 3 minutes left to go. And you want the ball in his hands. Or maybe perhaps Cooper Jackson down low if you can get it to him. That's where he spent most of his time. Isaac Malagan has a free right-hand dribble, but it's stopped well. Jackson Money and Swan combining. A missed shot there by Tierney. And a crucial one at that. Someone put a lid on the rim for the Patriots. But for Tipton, it's a giant crater. And a chance to catch our breaths. Myself, the fans, the players, and the viewers alike. Fourth team foul for Bethesda Christian. One more with the new rule change sends Tipton to the line, which is very important to them. As that one, hardly any time coming off the clock, 2:56 now. As Tipton 1 point away from reclaiming the lead. Or I guess 2 points rather, 1 point away from tying. Who are they going to get it into? It will be Tracy wide open. About 15 feet away from the basket, dribbling out now. A handoff to Carpenter, who's done a lot of work. He's defended by Malagan, who's been serviceable against Carpenter. This time, no good. Carpenter takes the lead by force. Swan diving for the loose ball, will be out of bounds. Important that he didn't come away with the foul. Tipton with the fans behind them. Not the most attendance we've seen here in the Inferno, but a decent crowd nonetheless. The Blue Crew, a little bit less than Tipton's accustomed to. About half the size, actually. But the fans here, they're sure to be loud on this Saturday night. Getting behind their Blue Devils. Tierney gets to that right hand very cleverly, splits the defense. Has Sam Malagan, stops on the pivot foot, kick out, Isaac Malagan for three, no good. And Swan pulls down the crucial rebound. And a bad time for Bethesda Christian to go cold from the arc. As Carpenter draws the foul, this one sends him to the line. And 2 big free throws needed here by Grady Carpenter. In a nail-biting game. We actually need to catch up on the clock here real quick. Let me see if I can fix that for the moment. There's actually 2:09 left to go. As a breakage of play, and Carpenter makes the first. He leads the team in 2-pointers made with 52 and contributing several in tonight's contest. Carpenter at the line, misses the second. A 2-point lead for Tipton. (57-55). We're underneath 2 minutes. Malagan working with Tierney. They want the ball in Sam Malagan's hands, who hasn't really had scoring opportunities, but he might look for one here. Sizing up Carpenter, but didn't like his options. A bucket needed here for Bethesda Christian. Inside, Cooper Jackson misses it, gets his own offensive rebound. He's been a beast down there, misses the second, gets his own offensive rebound again. Misses the third even. Out of bounds off of Carpenter. It's going to go back to Bethesda. Cooper Jackson will want 3 of those shots back. Tough shots to make, but for a guy like him who's had so much dominance down there, you'd think he'd make at least one of those. He'll be frustrated with himself. Certainly if Bethesda Christian's not able to come away with the win. That one maybe off of Bethesda. It will be off Nolan Swan instead. Might have gotten the secondary touch. Smiling at Isaac Malagan down there. Swan might know something that we don't. They want to get it up into Payne, defended by Money. Carpenter now has to defend Sam Malagan in a crucial 1 minute. Tipton could remain undefeated. Bethesda Christian could get back into the win column. They sit at 4-7, current record. Tipton in a perfect 11-0. Sam Malagan for three, no good. Swan with the rebound, 50 seconds left. Let's calm it down here, says Nolan Swan. He's sent to the line. Two shots for Nolan Swan. Swan at the line shooting two. He could make this a two-possession game. And he makes the first. If Tipton could pull this one off, certain to be their biggest home comeback they've had. I'm not sure about away games. I haven't been able to attend them all myself. I've been to a few where they've had close games. But Sam Malagan wants to make it a closer game. Not able to. Ryan Tracy pulls down the rebound. Tipton slowing it down. Swan, you want the ball in his hands as he's such a good free throw shooter. Can Tipton complete the comeback? We'll find out in about 30 seconds. Timeout called by Bethesda Christian. They're going to need a miracle here. We'll see what they've got in store. Are they going to use the full minute? I'm not sure if they have one left over. Swan at the line. He's got two there. And the first one good for Swan. You like to see him at the line out of anybody on Tipton. Sam Malagan needs a three here to cut the lead in half. Doesn't get it. Jackson Money with the rebound. And that should just about seal it for Tipton. An incredible comeback win if the final 22 seconds stay the way we think they will. The first free throw good for Money. Both good for Cash Money. Sam Malagan with time expiring. 15 seconds left. Isaac Malagan off the iron. A poor shooting half for Bethesda as they've got just 7 points. And Tipton completes the comeback. Unlikely as it was, they trailed by 15 at 1 point. But they've got the victory that they were looking for. Tipton stays perfect. I can't believe it myself. An absolutely outstanding second half performance, the first one. You can just scratch that one, but I said right after the first half expired, it's a tale of two halves, and Tipton proves why you don't give up. We'll be right back, see if we can get an interview with Grady Carpenter. It looks like they are actually doing something in the center, perhaps a prayer or something here as both teams coming together. It was a hard-fought battle, so it's good to see this kind of sportsmanship. As you can see, both teams mutual respect for each other, and after a game like that, how could you not have respect for each other? Both teams a hard-fought battle, and a great win for Tipton. Wasn't their best game, but they're able to come away with the win in the end. And a great show of faith there by Bethesda Christian, led by Coach John Grubbaums. A disappointing end for the Patriots, but overall a pretty good game from them. Just couldn't quite close it out. The shooting took a toll, and you actually wonder, as you see B.J. Johnson on the left side of your screen right about now, you wonder what the game might look like if he was still in. Did Tipton come away with this win by per chance, or did they earn this one? We'll be right back to talk with Grady Carpenter to see what he thinks. We are joined by Grady Carpenter, ladies and gentlemen. Grady, the first thing I got to ask you, how did you make the comeback happen?
You know, we never quit. We got a lot of fight in us. We were staying together as a team. We talked about it at the end of the third quarter that we had to make a push, and we stayed together the whole time.
And I noticed you personally decided to take matters into your own hands by driving into the paint more in the second half. Was that a change you thought about at halftime?
For sure. I mean, we were struggling to get stuff going in the first half, and it got to a point in the second half I said, you know, I just got to take over this game and get it done for us.
And did the Delta game that you had earlier in the season, the overtime win, did that help you prepare for this one?
For sure. Obviously, our full court press, we had to use that against Delta, and just, you know, the heart, the demeanor to never give up.
And how did that full court pressure really affect the outcome of this game?
Yeah, we were getting after them. You know, they were flustered a little bit, and we just got steals, turnovers, and we turned it into energy, really.
You guys barely remained perfect on the season. Does that add any other pressure to these games?
No, we're not really worried about our record. We're worried about going 1-0 each game.
And I'll give you a moment here to shout out any fans. You've got some grandparents, it looks like, checking in from Deerfield.
Yes,
so
sir.
I'll give you
shout out to people in Oklahoma, and shout out all the fans tonight. They were real loud.
All right, thank you, Grady.
Appreciate it.
A close victory for the Blue Devils as they remain perfect on the season. We'll go through a bit of the score totals here. First for the Blue Devils, leading the way, Swan with 28, nearly back-to-back 30-point games. He had 34 just last night. Carpenter coming alive in the second half. He had 14 total. 11 for Jackson Money, 6 for Ryan Tracy. Two huge threes, honestly, in that fourth quarter to get Tipton back on the right track. 2 for Gavin Hare and 2 Sam Quigley, neither of them scoring in the second half. Still, only 5 players for Bethesda Christian scoring in this ball game. 16 for Milligan and Jackson both. 11 for Stephen Tierney. 7 for Isaac Milligan, and just 5 for BJ Johnson. As always, thank you all for watching. This was an intense game as Tipton stays perfect on the season. Grady Carpenter says the added pressure, or there is no added pressure rather, and that remains to be seen as Tipton looks to keep remaining perfect on the season. They barely come away with a win here tonight, but a great comeback effort. And that's all. Live from the Inferno, I'm Grayson.